Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in. Today we're going to create another festive design, but today I'm going to be playing with a product that's new to me. So first of all, I'll show you what I've done with that product, and I've done some watercolour type painting with it. Now can you see the sparkle on that? It's fabulous. Now, this is the card I'm going to make, and as always, we've got a nice decorative envelope to go with it. And this is the product. It's from Kuretake, and it's a Drop of Shimmer. And it comes in a box like this, just to show you, because I know some of you want to know, because you actually pop along to the Lavinia shop. It's on the website, as I say, Drop of Shimmer. And this is the beautiful glitter one, and I have to say I blame Sarah Anderson for this. She made me buy it, and that's all I'm going to say, Sarah. I'll leave it there, but I couldn't wait to have a play with it. And what this is it's a water-based product with lots of pigment. So when I looked at it, you can use it on its own, you can flick it to add shimmer, but you can also paint with it, you can also mix it with inks, and that's what we're going to do today. And I've just had great fun playing with it. A few things, it is water-based, so I just clean my brush in water. That's always useful to know. I would recommend always putting the lid back on, keep it airtight, keep it out of the sun. With a lot of crafty products, you know, it's best to put them away, either on a shelf, but certainly not in full sunlight. I know a few ladies at crafting conservatories have had trouble. Well, I would say when we get any sun. No sun today, so I'm okay. But it's just something to bear in mind. Direct sun doesn't do a lot of craft products any favours. And again, it's not designed for use with children. But again, just be sensible. But it is so much fun. And you get this gorgeous little applicator with it, look. I love little applicators. So we'll start off, and often, it's like I've said before, when I get a new product, I tend to go for almost like a tried and tested design, because that way I'm not too hung up about what design I'm going to make. So I'm going to come in with my blue atoll, and I've popped my circle, the outie mask, the larger one, and this is a 5.5 inch piece of cardstock, ready so that then I can put it on a 6x6 inch card. Now this ink pad's very juicy, so I'm going to just blend it in the lid. I always recommend that. And we're going to start in this bottom section where I want the deepest of the colour, and then as I've got less ink, I'll come round, we'll ink up again and start in this section again, so I'll get a beautiful, really deep colour here. And then once again, as I've got less ink, work my way round. And can you see that's what I've got? Now what I'm going to do now is pop the lid on my ink pad. And I'm just going to use the ink that's on my brush. And I just want to, you see how we've got almost the solid lines? I'm just going to blend those out. And it's just almost, takes a bit of elbow grease, but you know what, it's worth doing. And we don't need any more ink, we've got enough ink on the brush. Just blend that. So you see how that's nicely blended, but we've got that white area. I love to have a white part. And while I'm holding that, I'm going to come in with my micron, my black fine liner, and I'm just going to go round and give myself that border. And I'm going to stop at a different part to where I started, just to try and even up that black line. And if I lift that up, there we go. If I take the mask off, I'm never going to get it back in the correct place. Give that a wipe with Mr. Inky Binky. And then I'm going to do some stamping next. So I'll just bring in my copy of paper. Just going to move that ink out of the way. My desk getting ready for its Christmas clean, I'm afraid. Everything, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to have less and less space. Now, I've just cut myself circle in copy paper. I could use my mask, but because I'm using a permanent ink, it's just cleaning it after. So for me, I like to just use copy paper, which I can then pop in the bin. So I'm going to use the Fairy Catkins. As you know, love this stamp. And there's 4 on the stamp set, and I'm going to use the larger one first. And I'm coming in with my permanent ink, and this is the black. Now again, you could use any colour for this, but I just want black. I just think it'll show up nicely. And I just want to, because I want to hang my bells from my Fairy Catkins, I'm just sort of going to angle it there and give it a good press at the edge of the paper or the mask, whichever you're using. And then I'm going to come in with the smaller of the Fairy Catkins. Now again, you could use any combination with these. Again, I'm going with the black. And this one, I'm just going to sort of angle here. And then we have got the 2 smaller ones. There's a solid one and an open one. And I'm just going to use the open one. Because I knew I was going to do some of this glittery inky painting, I wanted something to actually paint, to colour in. So it's nice to have the Catkins, that's what I'm thinking. And when I was designing this, recently I've used the bell set, and I've had quite a few of you asking me about the bell set, and it's a lovely set from Lavinia, and we've got the double bells, which I have to say is my favourite. I don't know why, but I tend to use them a lot. But there's also 2 single, a smaller and a larger bell on this set, and they are beautiful, and they're just called bells. And I know a couple of you have asked me, so I thought if I could incorporate it in another design, it would help. I do try and answer all your messages, and thank you for getting in touch. But honestly, some days I have sort of 10 or 12 messages, and it's just getting around, especially if I've got videos or workshops. So thank you very much, and I do try and answer them all. And I'm just going to pop the bells there. Now again, they're a lovely silhouette. Try and, if you're one of our lovely new followers, try and when you're stamping, get your head over. So you might get a bit of shadow, so I do apologise, but get your head over to try and get what you really want, look, is to have the bells actually on the twig there. But if it didn't happen, what happens is, because you've got the lovely black fine liner, you could just extend the bells. I mean, I'm actually just going to put a little bow, look, and 2 little, as though we've just tied the bells, and I'm just going to give them a bit of movement. But your black fine liner is your best friend, so try and get it on. But if you had over stamped and it was up here, just make that into your bow. If it comes too far down, don't worry, just extend it with your black fine liner. I think it takes the pressure off if we know we can get round these things. We'll pop this back on here. Now, when I'd got this far, I need something in the background here, but I don't want it to take away from the design. So what I've gone for is we've got a lovely fern branch. And on this set, there's a large stamp and a smaller stamp. And it's just the smaller one I'm going for. But again, because I want it in the background, I'm going for Warm Breeze. And this, I just think, ties beautifully with my blue atoll. So what I'm going to do is we'll have a couple of, we'll put one there. And it's nice because when the colours match, it just gives us that lovely cohesive design. Maybe a little bit of, just a little catch of second there. And it's nice to have your first and second generation. That'll just help with perspective. So maybe if we have a little bit here and then just a little bit at the top. I think we'll, I don't want to overdo it, so we'll pop the lid on. And that's lovely. So we've got all that lovely stamping. Now what I am going to do is just add my sentiment before I add the colour. And this is from the seasonal words. And I've just gone for the word Christmas. But again, any of them. I didn't want to put peace because I've got my bells making music and I thought... But obviously we've got joy, we've got Noel. And I'm just, again, I'm using the black and I'm just going to pop this in the middle. Lovely. I do love this font, I have to say. And then lastly, I just want to add a couple of music notes. And from the small music set, we've got the large and the small. There's a set of 3. And I just think, just to extend my design, if I just pop 1 there, look, and 2 there. And I just think Christmas, I'm thinking the bells, our lovely Christmas carols. So the music notes are perfect for Christmas. And I think that's such a lovely and, dare I say, quite a simple design. Now, to add some colour. This is the fabulous bit. Now, for me, I found the best way is to get one of my acrylic blocks. And what I'm going to do is put some midnight blue ink on it. And then I've gone for some blue lagoon. I want it a little bit deeper look than that lovely blue atoll. So I'm thinking the blue lagoon. And then what I'm going to do is shake my lovely, just check, because anything with shimmer, obviously quite often you will need to shake. I'll do that off camera, then it doesn't make you dizzy. And I'm just going to open it, being mindful not to do it over my work. And then with this lovely, look, oh, it's gorgeous. I'm just going to, I don't want to tip it out because I may get too much. So I'm just going to use this and just add, and that's all I need. And again, lid straight on because I don't want to spill this. It is an ink, a glittery ink. And then what I'm going to do is mix a little bit, look. And in fact, we put a tiny bit, but look how much is there. So I will probably stamp up 2 or 3 of these so you don't waste it. But look at that when you mix it with that ink. I mean, is it me or is that fabulous? And look, if we mix a little bit with the darker colour, just so we've got depth and shade. If I move that out of the way, if I bring this up now, do bear with me, you know I'm not that good on my camera work, but look at that, the shimmer. So you're making yourself a shimmery ink. So just think you can add this to so many of your projects and think of all the colours of ink we've got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with the darker one first and just paint in a little bit of the darker colour at the base of my Catkins. So again, Tracy's drawn those gorgeous little dots at the base where you need that darker colour. And look, you hardly use any. So I would, honestly, if I were you, I would batch card make this. Then I'm just a water base. So I've just cleaned my brush in my water pot, and then I'll come in with this lovely lighter blue, and then we'll just paint. And the way I found for me best to do it was to paint this bit in. And again, you will take your time. And if you batch card making these, what a lovely way to spend the afternoon, just painting. I think there is something about colouring in. I love colouring, but I love painting. And then I'm just going to, with a little bit of the clear look, almost go over that join and just blend those 2 colours. And then with the clear, what you can actually do, now I'm just turning this upside down because I'm going to go over my lovely stamped areas. And I'm just going to, now again, you can decide how much you want to add. So this is it without the colour. So it's almost like just almost silver, shimmery. So we'll add a bit on the branch here. And we'll paint these. So think of all the, I mean, you could stamp a fairy in silhouette and paint her in. We can, look, the bells. We can add a little bit of shimmer. I missed that one there. So thank you for those of you that were shouting. And that one there. When I hold it in the light, look, I can see. Now that one's a little bit thick. So what I'm going to do is just extend it a little bit, make it a bit wispier. There we go. Now, if I lift that up, look at that shimmer. And as I say, if you look at this, we've hardly, sorry about the glare from my light, but we've hardly used any. So I'm going to put that on the side because I'm going to use that on another project. So I'm just going to put that up there. Now, I could, if I want, paint in the word Christmas. But what I'm going to do, just to finish mine, I'm going to come in with my Uniball pen and just add some little dots, some little highlights on my music notes, little bit on the bell, and just a little bit. It will go over the top, look, of the shimmer. So it's nice that the white pen will go over the top. And I haven't force dried this, I haven't fast forwarded it. You're seeing all this in real time. So again, if I lift it up to show you, so you see how my white highlights. And that's a useful thing to know. And then lastly, I want to add my Posca. So I'm going to come in and I only want the Posca on the middle bit. Now I could flick the shimmer, but for me, I've got enough shimmer here. And I want the contrast with the white pen. So I'm going to come in with my Posca, give it a good shake, just pump it up on the side of my mat there, and then just give it a nice gentle tap, and especially on the deeper blue around the edges, I'll get that lovely snow and it'll show up. And again, it will go over the shimmer and it will stay true, a lovely true white. Let's get some in that. I nearly said that corner. And I know you're going to tell me it's a circle, it doesn't have corners. So some in that area. Right, that's enough. Don't overcook the Posca. And if I lift that off, there we have it, look. And I just think it's a lovely look at that shimmer. Beautiful. Now I'm definitely going to create more of these and different colours, but I'm thinking I'm going to go and stamp Star up and watercolour paint her with my lovely shimmer that's left. Oh, can't wait to do that. Well, I can't waste it, can I? So here's the original. There's the one we've done today, and there's our lovely original with the envelope with the bells and the music notes and our lovely fairy Catkins. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it gives you some inspiration and have a try with this touch of shimmer. Honestly, I think it's going to be one of those things, once you start using it, I'm now looking at all my stamps thinking, what else? The winter berries. They'd look fabulous, wouldn't they? The fir cone branch. Could make a wreath. Right, sorry, got to go and play. So many things I just want to go and watercolour paint now with a touch of shimmer. So thank you for popping in, as always. Lovely spending time with you. And have a big hug from me. A nice warm squishy hug. You take care. Bye for now.